3rd of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
America that came.
This one.
Very good. Okay. Okay, so we are here on 103A, towards the bottom of the page at this point. The din of the Mishnah of somebody who stole, and then he swore falsely in the Beis Din that he didn't, and then he thereafter was moda that he did, and so now he has to, of course, give back the Karen, the principal of what he took, and then he also, there's a penalty on him, like perhaps it's like a kapora payment for of a chomesh that he also has to give, a fifth of what he stole, and we said in the Mishnah that he's got to go even to a different country in order to personally give back that stolen stuff to the one that he stole it from, and now we want to know if that applies also in the case of the chomesh payment. So let's start off again over here. What the Mishnah says over here. Nosen lo as a Karen. This can be found on the end of the fourth line of the Mishnah. Nosen lo as a Karen. Roy, would you like to read?
Nosen lo es hakeren velo nosen lo es hachomesh. If after swearing falsely and confessing, the robber paid the victim the principal but did not pay him a fifth, machal lo al hakeren velo machal lo al Chomesh, or the victim forgave him the principal but didn't forgive him the fifth, or machal lo al zeh va'al zeh chutz chutz mefachos sheva paruta Bekaren, or he forgave him this and that, the principal and the fifth, that means, except for less than a pruta's worth of the principal. Eino tzarich lelech acharav. He need not pursue him. Do I go further, or do you want to leave?
Let's stop over here. We have some Rashis over here. So this means he doesn't have to pursue him, meaning that he doesn't have to go after him to give back that amount that the victim did not forgive. So what? Okay. So let's see the Rashis again. Lo nosen lo as a chomesh. We'll start with that Rashi. It's the second to the last Rashi from the bottom of the page.
Lo nosen lo. He didn't give him the chomesh extra. O shemachalo nigzma, or he forgive them or he forgive the victim who he robbed, forgives him. Al hakeren, he forgives them on the keren. La'acha shahodo lo, after he informed him after after he admitted it. V'lo mechalo al hachomesh, and he didn't forgive him on the chomesh, or mechalo, or forgive him al zeh on eat both of them. V'chule.
Right. So those three different scenarios. In all of those scenarios, he doesn't have to go to Madai doesn't have to chase after him to give him back. Okay. The next Rashi, Nosan lo es hakeren. This looks like it's out of place. Oh, this was the first thing that we said before. Lo nosan lo es hachomesh. Let's take a look at what Rashi says over here. It looks to me like it should be in the reverse order.
Well,
These Rashis.
Well, there are different cases, so I don't know. Let me see if it goes on and on in the Mishnah.
Nosan lo es hakeren is the first.
Okay.
That's the first thing that it says in the Mishnah.
Okay, this is Nosan lo Karen. He gave him the principle. La'acha shenishpa. After he did a shvua, the hoda, and admitted it. The nit chayev Karen, the chomesh, and he would be chayev on both a Karen and the chomesh. Nishpa lo. He makes a shvua shnia. He has to make a shvua, a second shvua, ala chomesh, on the chomesh amount, not low that he gave him, and he admits it. So he needs two shvuas, one for the Karen and one for the chomesh also.
Oh, actually, the shvua that he's making is a false oath, right? He's making an oath that he already paid the chomesh. So that oath has to be after he Rashi's right. It's the second oath is not like the first oath. The first oath was that he was accused of being a goslin, and he swore falsely that he didn't steal anything. And then after having done that, he later after that he admitted that he did steal it, and he made a false oath. So now he's got to give. Now his obligation is to give Karen and also to give chomesh. But so how does the second shvua come in over here? Rashi's explaining how the second shvua comes in over here. He's saying that after he swore on the first, after he swore the first oath that he did not take anything, and then he was moda after that he really did steal, and that made him chayev. That made him chayev in Karen and chomesh. Now, nishbalo shvua shnia ala chomesh shenosnu lo. He now he makes a second shvua that on the chomesh. What does he make a shvua on the chomesh? He's obligated to give the chomesh, and now he's making a second shvua on the chomesh that he already gave it to the guy. Nishbalo shvua shnia ala chomesh shenosnu lo, that he already gave it, and he doesn't have to give it. It doesn't have to give it. It doesn't have to give anything more. And then hoda, and then he admits that in fact he did not give the chodesh, the chomesh rather, that he previously swore that he already gave. So it seems to me, you take a look in the art scroll over there, what it says, but it seems to me that what Rashi's saying is that what Rashi is saying something interesting over here. Why is Rashi making the case that he swore a second shvua falsely that he already gave the chomish that he was obligated to give? Right? Because when does he get obligated to give the chomish? That's when he steals and swears falsely, and then he admits that he's stolen and swears falsely. At that point, he's chayav to give not only the Karen, but he's also chayav to give the chomish. So fine. So he's obligated to give Karen, and he's obligated to give the chomish. So what's Rashi need to tell me a second shvua for? That he's making a shvua that he already gave him the chomish, and then he admits, and so then what? Oh, that I think answers the question over here. This is a Rashi that we didn't get to yet, and it's very misleading. We didn't get to this case yet. This case is Nasan lo as Karen v'nishbalo ala chomish. Okay, that's why Rashi's explaining what he's explaining, because the Gemora says that that's what he did. Okay, so we'll now go further in the Gemora. Wow, you got to keep your eyes open over here, else you get to just fall into a 10-foot pit over here. You don't know what's going on. Okay, so we're up to in the Mishnah. It says Nasan lo es chomish, v'lo nasan lo es keren. Lou, you want to read from there? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom, the middle of the page. Nasan lo es chomish, v'lo nasan lo es keren.
Nasan lo es hachomesh, v'lo nasan lo es hakeren. He gave him the fifth, but he didn't give him the principal. Machal lo al hachomesh, v'lo machal lo al hakeren. He forgave him the fifth, but he did not forgive him the principal. Machal lo al zeh v'al zeh utz mi sheva bruta v'keren. He forgave him for both, except for a pruta's worth of the principal. Tzarich leilech acharav. He's required to pursue after him. So,
okay, yeah.
I'm having trouble with the stage directions here. We paid him the fifth, but not the principal. How is that possible? If he admits,
You know,
he
he did.
admits, I owe
Admits it, but he only,
why would he pay him
Right.
why would he not pay him the principal if he just admitted it?
he paid him the principal. He didn't pay him the fifth. He didn't pay the
No.
extra.
No, that's not what it says. He paid
It says both of
him,
them.
but did not pay the principal. The first line.
Okay, right. Okay, paid less.
So I'm trying to
So you-
understand.
Nasan lo es chomish, v'lo nasan lo es keren. Right.
If he admits, he says, I admit, I swore falsely, I really did steal the cow, and now I'm going to give you a fifth of the cow, but I'm not going to give you the cow. Doesn't make any sense.
Mhm. But he's saying that, okay? You didn't get to the end. The end of it is he's going to have to pay him. If he only paid him partially, he still owes him the rest of the money.
It's not saying
He's
saying he did it. He paid him the fifth, but did not pay him the principal.
Right. So he still owes him the principal. It doesn't say he's forgiven from it. He made a partial payment. He still has to pay. So that's what the end of the statement is. The end that says he must pursue him means he has to go after him with the money. He has to pay the principal. He must go to the guy, wherever he is, to pay the money.
Yeah, but
I
think what Lou is bothered by is he doesn't understand the scenario that the Mishnah is presenting over here. You can understand the scenario of the reisha of this story. The reisha of this, right? If you notice over here, inside this Mishnah, we've got a six-part story over here. We got three scenarios where the din is that he does not have to go after him, and then we have what we just read right now. We got three scenarios that he does have to go after him to pay what it is that he owes. Okay, so the first scenario of the first case of the first section was Nosan Loas the Karen. He gave him the Karen after having stolen and swore falsely and then admitted. But Lo Nosan Loas the Chomish, but he did not give him the Chomish amount. So in that case, the din is he does not have to go after him. Doesn't have to go after him to give him the Chomish. Okay. Now you want to know in this first case of the second set of three scenarios, where the din is that he does have to go after him. It says that he gave him the Chomish and he didn't give him the Karen. So you want to know, how could that be? If he just got through admitting that he owes him, so how come he didn't give it to him? So I have a simple answer. You ask him, why don't you give me the Karen? He says, I don't have it anymore. I already used it up, or it got it fell in the river and drowned, or whatever it is. But all he has now to give is a Chomish. So that's what he gives now. If he gave a Chomish, right, he's obligated to give both payments. So one simple way of explaining why it is that he gave only the Chomish payment, which is the lesser payment, and he did not give the principal payment, which is the larger payment. That's right, much larger, is because he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it, or whatever reason. If you don't like that reason, think of a reason on your own. But that's what he did so far. That's what he did. So now we want to know what's his obligation now. Having given the Chomish, he gave the Chumash in full, but he did not give the Karen. Does he have to go to Madai? Yes, he's got to go to Madai. The Karen payment needs to be given directly into the guy's hand in Madai. He's got to go. That's not like the first case. The first case was the first set of scenarios was he gave him the Karen already, but he did not give the Chumash. And now we want to know, does he have to go to Madai in order to give him the Chumash, the lesser payment? No, he doesn't have to go. That's what it says in the first part of this six-part mini Mishnah over here. Got it?
Not really. I mean, I understand what you're saying. This is what he did, but it doesn't make any sense that he would do that. I mean, to me, it doesn't. I say I admit I owe you $1,000, and I'm going to pay you $200, but I'm not going to pay you the $1,000. What's the point of paying the $200? He admits that he's wrong. He's doing the wrong thing. What's the point of paying him the 200? It's not accomplishing anything because it's not meeting his obligation. He owes him 1,200.
Right.
Well, I'll pay you 200. Why? Why would you pay him 200? Either pay him 1,200 or don't pay him anything.
Lou's a straight shooter. He doesn't understand why somebody doesn't do what he admits that he owes. Okay.
No, I'm not saying I don't understand why he doesn't do what he admits that he owes. You explained that. He doesn't have it. What I don't understand is why he pays the 200. That's a useless. I don't know. Maybe he's just
He
trying.
wants to pay what he has. Why not?
Show his goodwill. He happens to have 200.
He has the 200, and he wants to get that off of his for whatever reason that he has. We don't, you can make up a reason. He wants to, right? If a person doesn't pay if you can't pay the whole payment, so people do like to pay partially, because then at least that much they feel like that they paid. And they don't have to worry about paying it anymore. They already paid it, even though it's not a full payment, but they paid it.
But I think there's an implication here that paying the fifth is somehow significant, because he paid part.
It
He
has
doesn't
a
have
very significant.
1,200, but he's got 300, so he paid 300. What's the significance of that? He paid the fifth.
The significance is is because the dinim in the last three cases are that he's going to have to go to Madai to give him what he did not yet give him. Whereas in the first three cases, he does not have to go to Madai to give him what he still owes to give him.
So
isn't there a thing about if you confess, then you don't have to pay? So by paying him the fifth, it's a confession.
Well, that's in this case, we can't say that there's a principle like you're saying, moda b'knas putter. If he's moda, if he comes into Bezdin, and nobody was, the Nigzal was not running, the Nigzal did not summon him to Bezdin and claim that he's a Goslin. He comes into Bezdin on his own, and he says, "Look, I admit that I ganaved this money from Ploni." So in that case, when he's the one that initiates the whole procession over here, he'll be putter on the penalty. He'll be putter on the kefil. He'll only have to pay Karen. Okay, that's what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
But this case is not like that at all. This case, the guy didn't admit anything until he initially refused to pay. He initially maintained that he didn't have to pay anything at all, and then he even swore to that effect. So that's not the same scenario as the scenario of moda b'knas putter.
Okay, thank you.
He doesn't get the benefit of being a moda b'knas in this case, because he already denied it and swore falsely as well. Okay. Okay, so where does that leave us? So that's the first case where he gave after he guzzled and he swore falsely and he admitted to everything, and now he's got to pay the Karen and the Chumash. All he does at this point is pay the Chumash. All he does is pay the Chumash. So now if he wants to make payment of the Karen, he's going to have to go to Madai. That's what it says over here. Sorry, Leilech Achorov. He's going to have to go to Madai to pay him that Karen. Okay. Now, and the second din was, let's say that after the guy Goslin swore falsely and then he admitted. So now he's chayav in both the Karen and the Chomish. And then what happened was it says Mocholo ala Chomish, that the Nigzal forgave him on the Chomish, that he doesn't have to pay him the Chomish. Below Mocholo ala Karen, but he did not forgive him the obligation to pay him back the Karen. So in that case as well, the din is Sarik Leilech Achorov. He's got to go to Madai to give him that Karen. And even in a case where he was mochol everything, both the Karen and the Chomish, except for one Sheva Pruta's worth of the Karen, he's still got to go to Madai and spend who knows how much to get to Madai. Or maybe he could give it to the Shliach Bezdin and save the expense, like we said the other day. But he's got to go to he's got to go. He's got to go. Even if there's one Sheva Prutas that he needs to pay of the Karen, he's got to go. Okay, so that's what we got so far. And in the three previous cases before that, where he didn't have to go to Madai, was because he did not owe any Karen. He already gave him the Karen, or the Nigzal, the victim, forgave him the obligation to give the Karen, even though he's got to give the Chomish, or even if he was mochel on both. But he only has to give less than a Sheva Pruta of the Karen now. That was the only thing he wasn't mochel. It's also kind of a crazy case, but that's the din. The din, we're just trying to show the parameters of the din. The parameters of the din are is if all he owes is less than a Sheva Pruta, even if it's that he owes less than a Sheva Pruta of the Karen, he does not have to go. He doesn't have to go. In that case, he can, I guess, he could keep it he could keep that amount by him, and he can wait for the Nigzal to come to him. And then if the Nigzal comes to him, then he'll have to give him that amount to pay up his obligation. Okay. Okay, now we go to the next the next part of the Mishnah. The Mishnah goes on. Nosan lo esa keren, v'nishbalo al achomish. Okay. Who wants to read this? Back to Roy.
Nosan lo es hachomesh. Is that what I'm reading? Below Nosan lo es a keren.
No, further on.
Oh,
This is
no, I see. Sorry. Nosan lo es a keren v'nishba lo al hachomesh. If after swearing falsely and confessing, he paid the victim the principal, but did not pay 1/5 surcharge, and when he sued for payment, swore falsely to him concerning the fifth, claiming he paid it, and later confessed to this new sin as well, Hare Ze Mishalem Chomesh al Chomesh. Then he must pay a surcharge of a fifth for the fifth itself that he denied under oath.
Ah, I see. So we see over here. You see what happened over here? Let's just restate what Roy read over here. The scenario was he stole it, and then he swore falsely on the thievery, and then he admitted to it. So now, in step 3, we'll call it, he's got to pay Karen of what he stole, and also a chomesh of what he stole to the nigzal, to the victim. So now, step 4, it says nosan lo as a Karen. So he gave him the Karen. Very nice. But instead of paying him the chomesh, he denied paying it, that having to pay it. He said he already paid it, and not only that, but he swore falsely. He made a second oath on the chomesh that he already gave him, the chomesh that he was obligated to give him. So now, and then he admits that he didn't pay the chomesh. He really does owe the chomesh. So now in that case, we said that he's gonna what he gonna have to do now? He's got to pay him the chomesh that he owes him, obviously, because he admitted that he owes him that. And now, for the fact that he swore falsely on owing that chomesh, he's got to now pay a chomesh on that amount that he swore falsely that he already paid. That's the chomesh on the chomesh. Okay. Now we go to a Rashi over here. We have a Rashi. We read the bottom Rashi, which we didn't know what it was talking about at the time, but now I think we understand what it's talking about. It's talking about this case that we just read right now, and it's not out of order. That last Rashi on the page is not out of order, right? It's going on that on this later case that we just read. But now we have a new Rashi that we did not read. Harei zeh mishalem chomesh al chomesh. And before we do that, we have to give a round of applause for Kuf Gimel Amid Aleph. Wow. Now we're on Amid Base, the top of the page, and we do the top Rashi. Phil.
Hare is a Mishalem Chomesh al Chomesh. He has to pay the Chomesh another fifth on the fifth that he already paid because he lied about that. Chumsho shel Chomesh, a fifth of the Chomesh. The Chomesh Rishon, because the Chomesh Rishon, not a Karen. That's now considered the principal, and that's how he has to pay the.
Right, interesting. The chomesh became the principal. In other words, that was the disputed amount. The chomesh became the disputed amount, and he swore falsely that he already paid it. He doesn't owe him he admits it, right? He can't deny that he the only thing that he could do in making the oath is to swear that he already paid it, because there's no doubt about the fact that he was a Goslin and he swore falsely on the Gezela, so he does owe the chomesh. The only thing he could now make a shvua on to absolve liability to pay the chomesh is to say that he already paid it. And so that's what he did. And then he admitted later on that no, he didn't actually pay it. So now he's got to pay a chomesh on that amount that he was supposed to pay, because that chomesh was regarded now as the Karen. That was the amount became the Karen. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next. Let's go to the next part of the Gemara. Ad, she is my 8 Hakeren Misheva Pruta. Lou, you want to read that next part?
Okay. Let's see.
The top of 13b, 103b1, ad, end of the line. End of the top
It describes other situations. Is that it?
line. No. The first line.
Okay.
Ad. The beginning of the line is ad, or the end of the line is ad. I mean.
Oh, ad sheyis ma'et hakeren mishave pruta. So until that it's reduced, the principal is reduced to the value of a pruta.
Less.
Less than the value of a pruta.
Wow, this, I think what happened, what these words are actually connected to this what we say, Harezeh Mishalem Chomesh al Chomesh. In other words, in that last scenario that he swore falsely on the Chomesh, that he paid it already, and then he admitted that he did not pay it, and he still needs to pay it. And we said the din was now he's going to pay a Chomesh of the Chomesh that he denied being still obligated to pay. That din is going to be in effect ad she is my 8 Karen Misheva Pruta, until the Karen, meaning that Chomesh amount that he claimed he already paid, would be less than a Sheva Pruta, which in that case, what the din would be, well, maybe we'll see what Rashi has to say about that. We have any time? We got 3 minutes. Okay.
Try, let's see how far we get with it. Ad she'emet, until it becomes less than the pruta. She'im chazar, that if he goes back with a tanlo chomesh rishon, and he gives him the first chomesh, v'nishba al hasheni, and he swears on the second, makes an oath on the second, the hoda admits mishalem chumsho, he has to pay the 5th, v'chumsho shel chomesh sheni, and also the chomesh of the second chomesh. The cane and so la'om, until ad infinitum, so on and so on and so on. Ad she mi'ed hakeren, until the principal is reduced, shel chomesh of the chomesh, shelo yichaper lo shava prater. So he will not atone for him a sheva pruta.
She's Maida Karen Shel Chomesh Shelo Yichpor Lo Sheva Pruta. What it sounds like is that Rashi's saying that Sheim Chazer B'Nosin Lo Chomesh Rishon, right? If he now turns around and gives him the Chomesh the first Chumash that he originally was obligated to give him as a result of admitting that he swore falsely and he really did gazel. So he gave him that Chumash, but then Nishba al Hasheni. So now it says Nishba al Hasheni, meaning that what? There was a Chumash Rishon and a Chumash Sheni. The Chumash Rishon was the what we called before the Karen, and we said he's got to pay Chumash al Chumash. So the Karen, the Chumash that we call the Karen is Rashi is referring to here as the Chumash Rishon, and the Chumash Sheni is that was the Chumash that was a Chumash amount of the Chumash that was in dispute. So it sounds like what he's saying, that Rashi is saying that now he's going to make a third shvua that he already paid the Chumash Sheni, Nishba al Sheni, right? He had to pay a Chumash al Chumash, so he paid the Chumash, but didn't pay the Chumash al Chumash. And now he's swearing falsely that he did pay the Chumash al Chumash as well as the Chumash. Okay, and so in that case, if he's gonna admit that he did not pay the Chumash Sheni, so then he's gonna have to pay the Chumash Sheni, and then he's gonna have to pay a Chumash penalty of that Chumash Sheni that he swore falsely to, and so that's gonna keep going, says Rashi, until the Karen gets to be a Sheva Pruta. He'll have to keep doing that. But when it gets less than that, he won't have to do it. Something like that. Okay, it's time, and we'll say a good Asara B'Tevos. Everybody have a good Tainus. All the best.
Right, thank you.
Azak v'yamatz.
Right. Bye.
Bye, Roy.
See you, Phil.
Bye-bye.